Pawn on g3, giving up the knight for absolutely nothing. The reason why you can't even take this knight is because queen to f7 comes in with a fork on the rook and a square. And it's not just any square, that's literally checkmate because the rook on h8 cuts the king off on the h-file. Queen f7 would win you the rook, and a few moves later win you the game. Which is why in this position, mechachesszilla plays pawn to e5, defending the rook, locking out the bishop. But Stockfish looks at Mecha and says, "You think I'm locked in here with you? You are locked in here with me." Bishop to f5 comes back, locking the rook in jail. White takes the pawn on g3. Notice how every pawn is gone. Long castle. The rooks like cannons on the G and H file coming in. You're going to win this knight and bishop, by the way. 2 pieces for the rook. 2 pieces for the rook is a good deal. Not when your king is standing with no clothes on, covering his private parts with a piece of tree bark like in the cartoons. This is not going to work. Rook g8. Queen to d3. Queen g7. Queen g7 is a really, really ruthless move. You know why? You're going to get the queen to go defend the bishop. And the second it does, it steps off of this diagonal. So you go here, and now you're threatening on the H-file as well. And then we got to end things in style. We sacrifice the rook. We bring the queen with the rook. By the way, what black is playing down two pieces, basically. The bishop's not doing anything, but it's over. We get in. But the conclusion of this game, the way Stockfish actually beats its opponents, is so brutal. It plays queen c2. Watch this. It brings the bishop to g5. And it is a sadist. Because here, it just moves the king. And the reason why it can afford to do this is white cannot move any of these pieces. And then it realizes white cannot move any of the pieces. White doesn't have a move. It just moves the king around until white runs out of turns. You look like you can go king e1, but then I go here, and you run out of moves again because I have mate like bishop to h4. So Mecha has to now give up material in order to make moves. And slowly we convert. We don't even take the rook. There is a hanging rook. It's not even taking the rook. And now, watch us how it checkmates its opponent. I was like, oh, it's got to make a queen. It's got to bring in the king. It just gives away the pawn. Because now white doesn't have a move. And the king is forced off the plank. Mate.